Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 153. Today, we are back for a regular episode. This is the first time me and Easton have sat down for just a regular episode in, like, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe?
Yeah, just you and I. It feels kind of special, low-key.
It does.
This is like the start of something new.
It is. And this is kind of the late night cast right now. It's like 9-ish. Like,
Yeah.
that's late-ish.
Yeah, it'd feel a lot later if we weren't exactly where we basically live. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not where I live. You are. But I live
Exactly.
just down the road. It just really feels like, earlier when we did a late night cast, we'd start at 9:30. But we have a half-hour drive home.
Exactly. Like, it's a commitment to
Yeah,
being late. Yeah, so it's
exactly.
really not that late.
Yeah, it's not that
all
bad
in
anymore.
general. Exactly. But this is our first episode, just me and Easton in the new setup. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's a little more zoomed in than usual. But also, by the way, since we're here, go check out our channel. We posted the High Tempo Fast Break with Berry Hill last week. We did a draft video a couple episodes ago, and then we have another High Tempo Fast Break episode coming this weekend, which is going to be 2v2 NFL trivia. We already recorded it and everything. We're just stashing it for after this episode to come out.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking with the fast break, it's a great weekend thing. You
is.
You listen to our podcast Thursday, you have the rest, and then it gets uploaded on Saturday at 6. You have the whole week before Thursday to listen to it, or watch it before, and it was fun. I mean, the other one's going to be really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be much more like a YouTube video than a podcast.
Yeah, it's actually like a YouTube video, which it's still going to be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the audio listeners, so don't worry about that. But yeah, today we're here because today's a very special episode. If you're an OG listener of the High Tempo Podcast, you know that weekly picks became a very big session of our podcast segment, I guess. And it's back today. NFL starts tomorrow. It's Wednesday night right now. So weekly picks season 3 is back. Super excited.
Yeah, it starts today, which if weekly picks is back, that means football is back, which is, if you're not hype about football right now, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Draft a fantasy team. Do something. You got to get excited because I'm so pumped for this Thursday night game.
Me too, dude.
Just get going.
Obviously, I got Stafford jersey on right now. Rams, reigning champions, taking on the Bills. The Bills are probably the AFC favorites right now, so it's going to be a great start to the NFL season.
I mean, their slate of games
for
for this week, or the first week, is just, they nailed it. The NFL did an awesome job. I mean, we have the Chargers and the Raiders, two of the most high-powered offenses in football. What is it? Kansas City, Arizona.
Yeah, it's a good
super
one.
high-paced game. Super
Bucks,
interesting.
Cowboys, Sunday night.
Yeah,
obviously, we're going to go through all of them when we get to weekly picks. So, before we do that, let's talk about the first weekend of college football because college football started last weekend. I would say most fans of football spent their entire Saturday planted on the couch watching football. I know I did. I know you did. But Friday night, Michigan State took on Western. They got the dub, but it was a shaky win. I mean, obviously, we didn't look very good. It was pretty sloppy, but we got the win, but really tough because Darius Snow, our linebacker / safety, returned this year. He's going to be out for the season. I don't know if I think it was a knee injury of some sort. He's out for the year, which is just a major blow to this MSU defense, which was our weak point last year. And then the captain of our defense, Xavier Henderson, our safety, who was going to go to the draft last year, came back. One of the bright spots of our defense last year is also set to miss significant time with an injury as well. So just a really tough start to the year for Michigan State with the injuries.
Yeah, it was crazy because, I guess I'm not a State fan, so I didn't even know Darius Snow, but we didn't see the injury. It didn't, we didn't watch him get taken off the field.
I did see Snow get taken off the field. Xavier Henderson, I had no clue he got hurt, but Snow did get, carted off of the field.
I must have been not looking at the
guess
TV.
so, maybe,
I might have been in the bathroom, but, man, that sucks. I know how it feels to be sitting there in the first game of the year. One of your best players goes out. We had it last year with Ronnie Bell in the first game, one of our top receivers. So I feel for Sparty fans, but you're right. That game was shaky. It was a touchdown game, 13-21 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I was sitting there this game is I thought this game was over.
Yeah.
After the first quarter, it felt like it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah, State came out pretty strong, and then it just got the offense really was stagnant for a while. The defense really was. It's not that they couldn't get a stop, but they were just Western's offense was on the field for long stretches of time. And shout out Western's freshman quarterback, too. He played pretty well. Really good scrambler. He played pretty composed as well. Definitely could see him giving Central problems. Hopefully not. But that was he had a great start to the season, too.
Yeah, he totally played like he was the best player on the field as a freshman, which is not something you see. But he's got that confident, quarterback swag. He was running a lot. He was a dual threat QB. And
he was escaping the pocket really well, definitely.
Yeah, especially with Michigan State's pressure. They were pressuring the hell out of him. He was getting pounded. Yeah. And he fourth quarter, he was still playing well. So it was really cool to see how well he played. But week 1 win is a week 1 win.
Yeah, exactly. And State goes to Akron, but we take on Akron next week. So should be an easy win. It should be an easier win than Western was. So I'm hopefully excited for that. Let's move on to Michigan. Michigan played pretty well in their opening game against Colorado State, especially the defense. Did Colorado State not score, or did they get a field goal? I can't remember. It was either 0 or 3.
I don't remember either.
They didn't score a touchdown, but I just can't remember if it was 3 or 0. But defense dominated. The offense it kind of took a while for them to get really going, but still a pretty easy game for Michigan.
Yeah, and it felt like to me as a Michigan fan, you were watching the whole game obviously too. It didn't really feel like the offense got going. It felt like our run game got going, which obviously is going to be there. We're playing Colorado State. Obviously, we're bigger, faster, stronger than these guys. But I really was hoping to see Michigan be able to throw some long balls. We're in the midst of a QB battle, which apparently Cade McNamara thinks is weird.
We'll get into that.
We'll talk more about that. But I really was hoping, to me, a QB battle, especially in these first 2 games against Colorado State and Hawaii, who we can run on. If the going gets tough, let's just beat them with the run. But why not try to air it out a little bit? Throw some long balls. Cade was missing all the checkdowns, so I guess maybe that's why you don't throw a long ball.
If you're missing the checkdowns, it's going to be tough to hit the
It's going to be a long game. But Michigan, we got out there with a huge blowout win, and so that was awesome to see. But this QB battle, when JJ came in, it was electric.
Great, yeah.
He looked amazing. We can jump right into
let's talk about JJ and Cade. Obviously, we've known for at least since the start of this year, since Jim Harbaugh named Cade the week 1 starter, JJ week 2 starter, that these two guys are battling for the spot the rest of the year. But even before that, this goes back to last year. I mean, Cade McNamara was having a great year all year last season, leading Michigan to undefeated record up until the Michigan State game, where Cade played really well in that game anyways. Even Michigan fans then were like, we want JJ, and Cade had done nothing about it. And Cade obviously comes out after the game and says he was surprised that he didn't already win the job and that he's competing for the job with JJ, and he finds the situation unusual. I think it's bullshit that he says he was surprised by it, because this is no surprise to me.
Cade, you're only playing because of your seniority. It's been that way since you've been at Michigan, and you play mistake-free football, which is great. Cade is a great QB. I've been a Cade guy I was Cade guy last season for most of the season, especially after the game against MSU. And I was seriously a Cade guy headed into this season. I said, he's a senior. JJ can get more reps still, but Cade is the senior. Just led us to a Big Ten title. And then he came out and he did this, fell flat on his face when he knew there was a QB battle going on. He knew he had to perform well. There was pressure, which is good because there was something to care about during this game, where otherwise who cares? But you came out under pressure and you played like dog shit. You didn't play well.
Yeah. Especially against a poor team, too, yeah.
Especially against a bad team. And then you have J.J. McCarthy come in the second half and balled out. He, 20-yard rushing touchdown. And then after the game, for you to say that, it's ridiculous because you're supposed to be this team leader guy. You're supposed to, be the team leader. But for you to say that just doesn't. You should want that QB battle.
Exactly.
That should excite you. That they don't think you can do it. And then once you don't do it, now you're going to start complaining when you know this thing has been happening. And JJ is clear and far above the more talented quarterback. He might not be like the better game manager.
Right. But he has more skill at the quarterback position. I don't think anyone argues that.
Nobody. And JJ, he is a Michigan guy. He is such a Michigan man. And Cade is too, but he was acting. He was probably acting. He was upset, clearly. But the QB battle is going to be so interesting to watch for the rest of the year. But to me, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, Cade lost that in the post game. He didn't lose that during the game. He lost the job in the post game. If JJ comes out and torches Hawaii, it's 40-yard long balls out, runs all over him, it's over. I mean, Cade, you're done. You got to transfer. We appreciate it, but like you messed up a little bit at the end there. And I do love Cade. I'm still a Cade guy, and I wish there was a world where he could start for Michigan this year, and it wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah,
but it's just unrealistic.
As like a non-Michigan fan from the outside looking in, I mean, I guess I can't really say from the outside looking in because I know everything that's going on. Like I'm not a Michigan fan, but like
you're on the inside.
I know enough to pretty much be a Michigan fan.
Yeah.
Like it's going back to last year. It was hard to envision this situation not ending poorly. Because it'd be different if Cade had this year and he's done. But Cade has another year of eligibility after this year. He's not an NFL quarterback, so he does. He has no reason to leave Michigan and go to the draft or transfer anywhere else if he was to keep that job. Whereas J.J. McCarthy, he's a 5-star quarterback, highest Michigan QB recruit in a very long time. A guy like that has to start eventually, especially with the glimpses we've seen of him. It's not like he's been bad. He just hasn't gotten a fair shot. A guy like that has to play, but Cade just didn't do anything to lose the job necessarily. So it's hard to see a situation like that ending well because of, especially while you're trying to win games. It's not like your team sucks. Like they just made it to the college football playoff. So, it most likely will end with Cade as the backup, and he might transfer during the season. Who knows? But J.J. McCarthy was asked about the quarterback battle, I think yesterday or something, in a post-game or a press conference, and he just said that he loves the QB battle. He says he's using it to his motivation, and he's learning a lot from Cade, and he was very humble about it, which obviously is what you want to hear from your quarterback.
Yeah, JJ just really has acted like a leader for even last year. You're a 5-star QB. Most 5-star QBs aren't going anywhere where they don't play right away. So to see that and to see how comfortable he was, how okay he was with it, at least in the press, whether he is at home or not, I don't know, but he really seems to be okay with the QB battle because he's at Michigan, which is just amazing, and it just shows so much leadership ability when you can be so humble, and even though you're so good, like so much and far and above. He probably
realizes I should be the quarterback. Like if anyone's gonna be complaining in this situation, it probably should be him. Because he could say, "All right, I'm out. I could go anywhere else and be the starter if I wanted to." So but the fact that he's not the one that's acting up is definitely a red flag for Michigan staff.
It's pretty awesome though from JJ. It just iron sharpens iron, but iron might have made a diamond with JJ. It might have made a beast.
We'll see. They take on, obviously we said Hawaii this week, 51-point favorites. So that's one that I just don't know if I would take to cover. It's just, I understand that they probably will win by that much. But just on paper, it just sounds so. That's just so many points.
Yeah. And it's one drive of the whole game. You mess up. That whole 51 point might be gone.
But Hawaii, probably won't score. So as long as you score 51, which you probably can. I mean, who knows? But just a couple other college football, around the nation things. Georgia absolutely killed Oregon. They look absolutely dominant. I know it's only week 1, but they just are picking up where they left last year after losing, 7 starters to the NFL draft on defense last year, which is just wild.
They shit on Oregon.
Yeah.
They torched them. Bo Nix looked like dog
I know.
water. It was bad.
And I don't even know if is Oregon overrated or is Georgia literally just that good? Excited.
That's what it feels like.
They are fun to watch. They're just filled with NFL players. It's crazy.
Just electric.
Yeah. And Alabama takes on Texas this Saturday, which is going to be really fun. Pat McAfee is actually joining College Game Day with ESPN. He just signed a contract with them. He's going to be on the College Game Day crew, which is going to be sweet.
That is wild.
I know.
That he signed a contract.
I know
with
because
ESPN.
I didn't think he would be with ESPN.
Yeah, he seems like a guy who would be totally against it. Similar to us. Where we're too big for that.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to sign the contract. Yeah.
Me either. I'm not signing no dotted line.
I know, but that's pretty cool. Him and Lee Corso. I tweeted it on our page today. Him and Lee Corso on the same booth. It's just gonna be hilarious. Gonna be fire. Last thing. I guess we can mention Ohio State, Notre Dame. Pretty sloppy game though. It wasn't a fun game to watch. Ohio State ends up winning. I saw Notre Dame is 2-22 against top 5 teams since like 2004 or something. So
it's awesome.
Love to see
we
it.
can all hate Notre Dame.
Even though it was against Ohio State, like whatever.
We can all hate Notre Dame.
I think we all do.
Everybody does.
And then LSU, Florida State, one of the craziest endings to a college football game ever, and it was week 1 of this year. And Brian Kelly, did you see Brian Kelly in the press game or the press conference yesterday, like the day after? He was just like talking shit about how the media showed up late. Like he was like being all sarcastic and snarky with them, like, "Oh, if you guys showed up on time for media." And one of the people just go, "Well, maybe if you won, we'd show up on time." Like just calls
Let him
out.
hear it.
And he like it was hilarious. Like Brian Kelly is such a loser, so that was just hilarious that happened.
Yeah,
so.
that is awesome. Screw Brian Kelly.
Exactly. All right. Are we ready to hop into weekly picks?
I think so.
I think so. Before we do this, obviously, I mean, I know they know it's coming, but we have had a jingle the last 2 seasons of weekly picks, obviously. But if you know, we've mentioned a couple times, we have a new podcast machine now, and we don't have the old song anymore. I mean, we do have it, but like not on this.
Yeah.
So we decided to do something fresh for season 3. I think we just hop right into it.
Yeah, here we go.
On season 3 of the High Tempo Weekly NFL Picks, the stakes are higher than ever. Kyle versus Easton. High Tempo Weekly Picks season 3 is back. Let's ride.
Let's go. That was
I am hype. Like
I couldn't hear it, so like, it was a little
I know.
awkward, but I bet it probably got you freaking hyped.
I could run through that door, take it right off the hinges.
This is like when Dan Campbell gives his motivational
no,
speech.
that's how that felt. Like if you're not ready for NFL football after that, what more do we have to do?
If you are not ready for weekly picks after that, I mean, you just click off the video, unsubscribe. We don't want you around. We want people that are excited and hyped to listen to this and pumped because we are pumped.
What more do you want us to do?
Exactly.
Are you not entertained?
Now, obviously, there was no jingle. If you're disappointed, we are going to make a song, but we figured just to open up season 3, we heard that track and we were like, we need to do something over that.
It felt like how every NFL anything should start.
Yeah.
Just burr,
Exactly.
burr.
Get you excited.
Yeah.
So we are going to make a song before next week's episode, and that will be our song for season 3. But that's just to get you ready for weekly picks.
That shit was fire.
So as you heard Easton say in that little clip there, the stakes are at an all-time high.
Higher than ever.
Okay, that's what it was.
You're pretty close.
The stakes are higher than ever. The scoring is going to be a little different this year. So if you know weekly picks from the past, we simply go through all 16 games, and whoever gets the most right wins that week. And we have a few tiebreakers, obviously. But this week we added 3 extra points to be available on the scoreboard. With that being, we're adding like the spread into games. So each of us are picking 3 games that we want to take a team to cover the spread, and those are going to be 3 extra points available. So you can get 2 points from one game.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. It's really big.
Exactly.
And I don't even know if there's gonna ever be a tie now. With that.
I know it's gonna be because we're still gonna keep the tiebreakers. The tiebreakers are the prime time games. So, and then if not, we still we just pick a random game. If not, so like there's plenty of stakes on the line here.
Wait, there's only 3 primetime games.
Oh yeah, there is only 3. Well, we could still only if we guess them the same, then we could still tie that.
Yeah, then we'll find a tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
holy
we have tiebreakers on tiebreakers on tiebreakers.
We know what to do.
So like I know as much we're talking about weekly picks here in the past. You've won both seasons, right?
No, we're split one.
We are split.
Yeah. You won last season.
I won last season.
Yeah, I had the crazy comeback in season 1.
I thought I just got blown out in season 2.
No, you. I think you won. I think I was making a comeback.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I guess I'll have to look at it for. I have my old notebook that I can look at for it.
Yeah,
but,
good call. Good call.
Yeah, I think it's split, but I don't know. Some reason thought you were up 2-0.
Damn,
maybe
that feels
not.
like something we should have talked about and known as podcasters.
Probably right. Whatever. And then obviously with the covering the spread thing. If you take the underdog to win the game, obviously you can't pick them to cover the spread because obviously if you're picking them to win, they're going to cover. So you either have to pick the team that you are picking to lose to cover or the team you're picking to win to cover while winning, obviously, for a backstory here. So, all are we ready to hop into it?
Yeah, for sure.
Week 1.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
pumped.
Thursday. Oh, wait. Actually, one more thing before we hop
We
into it.
are not ready.
We are not ready. Our NFL Team Fantasy League, I think we've described it a couple times, but we're doing a league where each week there's a random draft order, and then we pick teams for that week where your team is filled with one team. Like you had the first overall pick, chose the Denver Broncos, so your whole fantasy lineup this week is Russell Wilson, Javonte, Melvin Gordon, Sutton, all those guys. And it's going to be fun. And then we, play each other all year. And it gives us another reason to watch another game and to root for another team, I guess.
Yeah,
like Monday Night Football, you're going to be like going
locked
hype.
in.
I wonder who you picked for that game. Obviously,
Okay.
I would assume you chose.
I just made sure, double checked. What's your team? What team did you
I
get?
picked the Lions.
Oh, yeah. Do you know who my flex is? Can you guess?
It's KJ Hamler, probably.
Okay,
yeah.
Just make sure.
I know all of them, dude. You can't stop me with
look at
any
me.
of them. Here's a pop quiz.
Okay.
Jack has the Cowboys. Name the 3 receivers he's starting. Like the 2
it's
plus
the
flex.
most difficult ever because it's CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
Gallup's hurt. They've got a rookie that's starting.
I
don't know his name.
Jalen Tolbert is the wide receiver 2.
And
then the flex is a guy that I never heard of. Noah Brown, wide receiver.
Who is that?
He projected
guy?
like 7.5 points.
That's baller.
I
That's
know,
pretty
exactly.
baller.
I picked the Lions. They should have went undrafted, but it's week 1. Got to root for the Lions, so gives me even more reason to root for all of them to score and everything.
Yeah, go Lions.
Now we're ready to start.
Yes, we are.
All right. Thursday night football. Buffalo Bills at the LA Rams. What do you got?
I got the LA Rams starting off the season hot. The Buffalo Bills felt like they belonged in the Super Bowl. They didn't. They lost according to the overtime rules in the NFL. If it was anybody else, they would have lost too. And you can't let the Chiefs score in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You can't. You probably deserve to lose.
We're still talking about this.
So, Rams going all the way. They want to prove it that even if the Bills did make it, they weren't beating them. Mm-hmm. That's a dub.
Yeah, I got the Rams as well. How can I not take the Rams? Reigning champs. I know the Bills are going to be really good. I like the Bills, but I got to take Stafford and the Rams, reigning champs. I mean, that's all you have to say.
Easily.
Next game is Willie's favorite. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals, an in-division rivalry week 1. What do you got?
Who do you think I got? I got the Cincinnati Bengals. We should do the covers as we go, right?
Yep.
And I'm taking them to cover -6.5.
Really?
They're going to blow them out. But it might be a 30-point win for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
I understand it's a rivalry game, but the Pittsburgh Steelers suck. Their team is bad this
Mitch
year.
Trubisky starting QB week 1.
Yeah, it's not the Lions. He's playing the Bengals.
He's
not playing the Lions. He's not going to be good.
This one was actually kind of tough for me just because of the rivalry.
God.
I took the Bengals. Obviously, I'm going to take the Bengals. But I am taking the Steelers to cover +6.5. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm taking the Bengals to win, but I'm taking the Steelers to cover. So we both took
that
awesome.
Game. But that is so funny.
That's pretty cool. By the way, we're doing it off FanDuel, so if you get mad at us over the where the lines are set at, blame FanDuel. Neither of us are 21 either, so we're not actually betting on this. This is not gambling advice.
And also, don't blame us. If you have complaints, go watch another podcast.
If you're gonna bet on this and lose and get mad at us, dude, we're not even the age to gamble.
I have
yet.
no money in this. None.
Exactly. Now, give me 2 weeks. I will be I will bet on every single one of these games.
Yeah, you should have some skin in the game. At
exactly.
That point.
I might as well.
It's only fair. You can't tell people to take something and then not take it.
That's
yourself.
literally what we're doing right now.
But we can.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Willie, I'm taking the Steelers to cover. I got faith. Also, I have Najee Harris in my family league, so need him to go off.
You have faith in a close game, not a win.
Exactly, not a win though. Well, if they win, I mean, I still get the point over you.
Yeah, you still get. Yeah.
So I guess that I will take that if that happens. All right, next game, the most important game of the week. Philadelphia Eagles are headed to Ford Field to take on your Detroit Lions. What do you got?
This was the easiest pick of the week. Jalen Hurts sucks. A.J. Brown, trash. Miles Sanders sucks. Devontae Smith, ass. I'm
just thinking of synonyms.
Dallas Goedert, butthole.
Butthole.
I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra, dog. I could go the whole TikTok.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions as well. Obviously, I took them in our team fantasy league. I will be picking that team to win every week. I mean, obviously, I'm going to. So
especially this year when we're the best team in football.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like I'll be taking the team that I pick in the fantasy league, the team league every week. Like I'll be picking them to win, obviously. But yeah, Lions gonna win week 1. Sold out crowd at Ford Field, by the way, which is hype. So yeah, next game we have the Indianapolis Colts headed to Houston to take on the Houston Texans.
This one is another one that just like a couple of these are just so obvious, and it's all on the top side. The bottom side, it's a lot more shaky. I've got some crazy takes. But I'm taking the Colts here. The Colts, Jonathan Taylor might have 100 points in fantasy this week.
Probably.
And Michael Pittman will also probably have 100.
Definitely. If the Texans were to win a huge upset game, it would be week 1, but I'm not going to be the guy to pick it. So I'm taking the Colts, and I'm also taking the Colts to cover -7.5. I definitely think they can win by more than a touchdown. I would hope so against Houston. So that's my second spread of the weekly picks.
Oh, you got the Colts covering?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just take the easy ones. Jeez Louise.
I took the Steelers plus 6.5.
Let's take the clearly obvious ones.
There's no rules against that. I'm gonna guess if I'm gonna judge you hardcore off the ones that you take next.
Okay.
All right. The New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. If you took the Saints to cover,
I did.
Okay.
I just took the Saints.
Okay.
But like. Just thinking about something.
All right.
The Saints.
Yeah. I took the Saints too, but I really low-key wanted to take the Falcons because week 1 is so unpredictable, but I didn't. Like, I just didn't.
I thought about it.
I did.
It's a new-look Saints team.
Exactly. New-look Saints team, new-look Falcons team too. So next, we have the Baltimore Ravens headed to New Jersey, actually, to play the New York Jets.
This is another pretty obvious one. The Ravens should win this football game. But I am taking the Ravens. But I am taking the Jets to cover.
Nice.
At +7.5.
Nice. Going to be a close one.
This is a rivalry game. This is a revenge game.
Joe
Flacco is starting. Now, the history of Joe Flacco is not a good one other than a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, other than the Ravens.
Post-Ravens, Joe Flacco has not been phenomenal.
He's been a ton of blemishes and not very many bright spots. However, he will make this a close game. It's
against his old team. Yeah, I respect that. I was even considering taking the Jets just because of the Joe Flacco, but no, I took the Ravens.
It's like a cool new way to not take the team, like take the underdog.
Yeah,
but like
if you really are thinking about it, but like it's way too risky, I'll just take him to cover.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
that's what my thought.
It's a smart play.
Was.
Next, we have another in-division rivalry: New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins.
This one is so interesting too, man. I went the Patriots, but this game is so up in the air. The Dolphins probably should win this game, but like first time with Tua, Tyreek, and we don't know how everything's gonna work. It should work just fine, but we'll see. I got the Pats.
I also have the Patriots here. Yeah, it's just tough. Dolphins week 1. We don't know what their team's going to look like. Patriots didn't change much up. I don't think the Patriots are going to be good this year. I predicted them to finish last in their division, but I'm still taking them to win this week 1 game over the Dolphins.
Yeah, I will, if I could bet on issues within locker rooms, I would bet that Mike Gesicki is an issue in the Dolphins locker room this year. They've converted him to a blocking tight end.
That's true. They have done that.
He was one of the best receiving tight ends in the league.
He's very good last year.
Like, literally, when you watch him, me and Jack would watch him all the time. The dude caught everything.
Oh, yeah. And he's good after the catch, too. He's very athletic after the catch, too. Yeah.
He was like a dog in fantasy.
Maybe something will happen there. Next, Cleveland Browns against the Carolina Panthers. What a fun game this is going to be.
This game is nuts, and I circled the wrong team just looking at it now. Because I'm looking at them like, why would I ever pick them? I have the Cleveland Browns circled. I'm not going Browns. I'm going Carolina Panthers. Revenge game for Baker Mayfield. That's one I feel a lot more confident in.
Yeah.
Much better roster around him in Carolina. I'm super pumped. I mean, this game should be hot, heavy, intense. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for this.
It would have been way cooler if this game was in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Like, it would have just been awesome. Especially like Deshaun Watson on the sideline, and then Baker back in Cleveland, obviously. I'm going Carolina as well. Baker, revenge game. I'm rooting for Baker in this type of game. Browns, huge L, Browns. Like,
huge.
Just this whole offseason, humongous L. I was liking the Browns, when they started to be good again. And I'm not saying like I'm a bandwagon, but like it was fun to root for them because they're like the Lions. They've always sucked, and they're finally becoming good. And then they just like did a bunch of stupid stuff, which they still could be good, but like I ain't messing with it. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, they like finally were decent, and the fans were in uproar over being decent.
Yeah.
How do we start Baker? He's the best QB you've had in 20 years.
Yeah,
since
literally.
the start of the 2000s, and you just ran him out of town.
Yeah.
I hope Baker Mayfield is a dog in Carolina.
I know, it'd be pretty
like,
sweet.
I want him, and I would imagine. Like you said, imagine a scenario if it's flip-flop. They're playing in Cleveland. He wins the game, and he plants a damn Panthers flag in the middle of the stadium.
Literally.
Come on, dude.
That'd
I
be
love
awesome.
Baker. Go
Have
Panthers.
we picked every game the same so far? I think we've picked literally every game
I think
the same.
we have.
Interesting.
It's going to come down to a lot of covers.
I know. All right, next game. We have the San Francisco 49ers headed to Chicago to take on the Bears.
49ers versus Bears. 49ers are one of my Super Bowl sleepers. I think they could be incredible this year. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl this year. I'm taking them to win this game and to cover at -6.5.
Oh, doubling down. What a boring pick.
They're going to win by more than a touchdown against the freaking Bears.
I don't know, dude.
That's a lock.
I don't know.
That's the second lock.
So
of the
initially,
episode.
when I wrote down this game, right, I had 4 covers down. One of them was the 2 I've already said. There's one a little bit later. I had the Bears to cover here against the 49ers. And then I thought to myself, you know what?
What?
Week 1, it's Trey Lance's like first start of the year as the guy. There was the drama with Debo this offseason. I have Debo in one of my leagues, so I really shouldn't be like saying that. I'm taking the Bears at home over the 49ers to win the game. This will be one of the few times all year you will see me like not root for the Bears, but pick them to win a game. I hate the Bears, but since they're going to suck this year, hopefully, it's a lot easier to like a team that's going to suck, you know? So I'm going to take the Bears. It's a risky pick. It's definitely my riskiest one on here, but I'm taking them.
I'm going at you this podcast, but that's a terrible take. Like, I hate the Bears.
Trust me, I hate them too.
But, like,
Absolutely hate them.
I like the Niners. That's part of my issue.
I like them too.
What are you doing, dog?
Because, dude, I'm not like you gotta make bold picks.
Yeah, you're right,
Week
you're
1, you don't know what's gonna happen.
You're right. My bold picks are later.
And like we've also had the same. I've not had a single bold pick up until this point. So, all right, next Jacksonville headed to Washington to take on the Commanders. First time we've said that on Weekly Picks.
That sounds so weird. And I am taking the Commanders. This game sucks. I will not be tuning in. Actually, I will.
There's not many fantasy players in
I have
this.
J.D. McKissick on my bench, and I'm assuming Antonio Gibson's going to put Antonio Gibson's going to put the ball on the floor, third play of the game, and McKissick will be the starting back the rest of the year. So I'm really hopeful.
Hey,
for
Brian
that.
Robinson's healing up fast. So.
Yeah, he is. I've got him injured.
Oh, there you go.
I've got him on the
perfect then.
I've got
That's even
both
better.
of them. I just don't have the shit one.
I'm taking Jacksonville here. Carson Wentz first start in Washington, kind of a theme I'm following here. Don't know how it's going to go. A lot of drama in Jacksonville last year. I think it's going to be a lot better this year. Week 1, I'm going to take the Jags. They won Week 1 last year. Only game they won all year. Actually, no, they won the last one too. So it's going to be history repeats itself.
I do not think there's a world in which there could be more drama in Jacksonville this offseason.
Exactly.
There was something crazy.
It would have to be like
Raiders level of crazy.
I was going to say, like, it have to be type Raiders type stuff. Speaking of the Raiders, the next game is the Raiders at the LA Chargers. What a game this was in Week 18 last year. We'll see if it lives up to the hype again.
This was the tie game, right? Where
yes,
they could have
tied. Both made it. Yeah. This was one of the best games of the year, maybe the best game.
And it was pretty just hilarious at the end of the game when it felt like both teams were trying to tie. But man, do I love the Chargers now. I have Herbert in fantasy. This is my year 2 of having Keenan Allen. Like, are you kidding me? How could I not sit there and be a Chargers fan?
I like the Chargers.
And Justin Herbert's he really is just incredible.
He is him.
He's so much fun to watch. He's, baby Josh Allen out there just running around slinging that bitch.
Yeah.
I love this. So I'm taking the Chargers against the Raiders, but would not be surprised otherwise.
Yeah. When I made these picks, it was when we were in the middle of that, because the way we did the draft, it was kind of just throughout the day. Like, if you were up, you just text it in there. And I'm playing against Mitch. Mitch had picked the Chargers while I was picking these. So, obviously, I'm taking the Raiders. I'm playing against Mitch in that league. Can't root for the Chargers this week. Gotta take the Raiders.
Just so many conflicting.
I know.
Like, I was thinking that same thing in fantasy. Like, who did Seth take?
The Vikings.
Shit. Oh, God damn it. They play the Packers.
Yeah, that's a tough spot you're in.
What
dude.
do I do?
Horrible spot you're in. We'll get to that game here in a sec. Next game, the New York Giants taking on the Tennessee Titans.
This is the first game that I think is a big surprise. I've got the Giants winning this football game. Titans have one of the worst offensive lines in football, one-dimensional offense with Derrick Henry and nobody else. Traded away their only other piece. That was like a big guy on offense. Obviously, the addition of Robert Woods and Traylon Burks, they hope to nullify that. But I don't know, man. First game, the Giants got Saquon. This should be an intense
healthy
game. I'm really excited to see what happens. I'm taking the Giants.
I almost took the Giants, but man, the Giants are really bad, and they have Daniel Jones as their quarterback. I did definitely think about it, but I went with the Titans here. I just think Derrick Henry's probably going to run all over him. No Kayvon Thibodeau to start the year either, so I'm going to take the Titans, but would not be surprised from a Giants upset. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals.
This game is fun.
This game is fun.
This game should be high-powered, really good offense. Kyler Murray, Call of Duty hasn't come out. He should play well this week. I'm going with Kansas City, week 1, though. Screw the Cardinals.
The Cardinals
I hate them.
have climbed that list of teams I hate in the NFL. They're in that top 5 list. There's a good chance they're number 3. I mean, I really don't like the Cardinals, mainly because they're our little brother, the Lions' sons. However, I am taking the Chiefs, but I'm taking the Cardinals to cover. I think this is going to be a good game, plus 5.5 for the Cardinals. It should be a good one. Like you said, Call of Duty yet to drop yet, so Kyler should be on his A game to start the year. Classic Cardinals fashion. We're going to start off the year great and then just totally suck at one point. Obviously, I don't think the totally suck part is going to start week 1, so taking them to cover, Chiefs to win.
Yeah, screw the Cardinals. I want to know what your list is. Your top 5. Like, you take out your top 3 because that's how you said.
Packers, Bears, Cardinals,
I assumed.
Vikings, and then...
Vikings are 4?
I hate the Vikings.
Dude, I love
that
the
fifth
Vikings.
slot is like a 5-way tie between, like, the Steelers. No. The Cowboys are in my top 5, actually, 100%. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Vikings. I don't like the Browns either anymore, dude. I do not like the Browns.
Oh, dude, I don't either.
There's a lot of teams
My
I
top
don't
5
like.
is actually like the exact same as yours, except Cowboys 4. At the 5, I had a team, but they slipped my mind.
Well, the Steelers are probably like number 1.
Oh no, yeah, the Steelers are. Yeah, the Steelers.
They're
are 5.
They might be in my 5. I don't know.
The Seahawks are right there.
Yeah.
I hate the Seahawks.
All right, last game before we get into prime time. 2 of the teams we've been talking about: the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings.
I've made my decision. I hate the Packers more than I hate Seth. So I'm picking the Vikings to win this football game.
That's a good thing to say. Yeah, give me the Vikings. Packers suck. Aaron Rodgers has fallen off this year. Yeah, taking the Vikings. Sunday Night Football. What a doozy this is going to be. This was this first game of the year last year, and it was a really good one. Tampa Bay at Dallas. This is going to be a fun one.
Going to be a shootout. I mean, the scoring in this game should be ridiculous. Jack taking the Cowboys in the fantasy league is just genius. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, he just don't lose.
Yeah.
He just don't lose a lot. So I went Tampa Bay here.
Another one of these times where it's a rare occurrence. I'm going to be picking the Cowboys. Tom Brady's got a lot of drama going on right now. He said there's a lot of shit going on in his life right now. He hasn't been to training camp. I'm not saying he's gonna be washed because he's my QB in my family league. So like, hopefully he does good. Him and Giselle are like going through it too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff going on with Tom Brady's life. Could see it be maybe distracting in this week 1. I'm gonna take the Cowboys here.
Yeah, Giselle doesn't like the fact that Tom's cheating on him with the game.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in love with the game, man. He just
exactly like
loves it. He
The
can't
fake
go.
retirement is it's the last straw for her.
She's just she can't
I don't
handle
blame
it.
her. Like, dude, you're 50. Like, come on, dude. Your kids have to have a father figure at some point.
Somebody's got to kiss him goodnight.
All right, Monday Night Football. We have Let's Ride the Denver Broncos, and Russell Wilson headed back to Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
Screw Russell Wilson. The rest of the team, let's ride. Using his own slogan against
Exactly.
him. I picked the Broncos in my league. Broncos versus Seahawks. Like I said, I hate the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Go Broncos.
Broncos. This might be the easiest pick of the week between that or the Houston one. If Seattle wins this game, it'd be nuts. But it is in Seattle. They have crazy fans.
Yep.
Russ is back. Like, I feel like that's gonna they're gonna cheer for him though. Like
Yeah,
I don't think
facts.
they're gonna boo him. So he probably will go off. I
It'll
would
be
assume.
time to ride. Pause.
Whoa. All right. How far are we into this podcast?
40 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say it feels like we've been going for a while.
Me too.
We only have one more thing to talk about, but it could last a while. As you know, we've been doing our top 10 at each position in the NBA for the past month or so. It is time for power forwards. We talked about it a little bit before. This one might be the easiest one we've done so far. Not saying it's the best or the worst position, but I didn't have much trouble ranking this list, especially finding the guys. Because the hardest part for me is usually that 7 through 10, and I really didn't think it was that tough.
No, it just isn't a lot of good power forwards
Right.
in the NBA. It's a lot of PJ Tuckers. Tobias Harris did make my list, honorable mention, but that guy doesn't scream top 10 NBA player position when you watch him play. I'm excited for this list. I actually thought it was easier. I made my list today at noon, and as I was writing it down, I switched some stuff up.
Yeah,
because I don't know, man. I
made my list pretty fast. It didn't take me very long.
I'm kind of nervous, man.
All right. Top 10 power forwards in the NBA. We're using ESPN positions as always. The only guy that isn't listed as a power forward that should be is Evan Mobley.
Is he a center?
He's listed as a center. He for sure would be on this top 10 list as much as I obviously push the Cade is better agenda. Mobley 100% is better than a few of these guys at the bottom of this list. And I assume next year they'll have him listed as a power forward and he's going to go off. But he's not right now.
He might be 3 on this list.
He could. It depends on the jump he takes.
Yeah.
I don't know about 3. 3's a little wild. But do you want to go over our top 10 power forwards list that we did last year, or do you want to wait till after? Because it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I do want to.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I got it. And it's just it's not much different than my list is currently, my list. So the bottom, we each had John Collins at 10, Tobias Harris at 9 for me. Tobias was 8 for you. Siakam was low. You had Siakam at 9. I had him at 8. Both had Draymond at 7. Nothing crazy. Anthony Davis, number 6 for you.
I mean, it worked. End of the year, it looks great.
Right, yeah.
But it's still wrong.
But just wait. Sabonis is number 6. Julius Randle was my number 5. Sabonis, your number 5. Julius Randle was your number 4. And Zion Williamson was my number 4. Zion, your number 3. AD was my 3. And then I had KD at 1, Giannis at 2. You had Giannis at 1, KD at 2.
Gotcha.
Just the Randle thing is funny. How we both had him so Randle. High. It's because he had the year. He had a great year.
I mean, last year he averaged 20 points a game.
Yeah. But speaking of Julius Randle, he is my first and only honorable mention. Did not make my list. Just didn't make my list. Not impressed by Julius Randle.
He's number 10 for me.
Okay.
He's right at number 10. Number 10 is Julius Randle.
Thank you. Do we even need to talk about him?
No.
Yeah, the Knicks suck. We'll see what happens.
That was too much.
They have a big 3 of him, Brunson, and RJ Barrett.
The worst.
The mid 3. I've seen that.
Mid three.
That's just so mean, dude. All right. My number 10 is John Collins. Collins had a pretty solid year last year, but the Hawks they didn't disappoint, but they just didn't play as well as they did the year before. He was really good in the playoffs 2 years ago, but just his role was weird. He's a guy that has been in trade talks for the last 3 seasons. Him and Clint Capella both. We'll see what happens because it seems like Onyeka Okongwu is the future of the front court there. Whether it's Capella or Collins that goes, Hawks should be better this year. I think he's going to flourish with having DeJounte there too, but he's my number 10.
Yeah, and he's so interesting. It's just his career. I think he's better than he is.
Yeah,
every time I see him,
he's been a 20-8 guy his whole career.
And he's just solid though.
Yeah,
you watch him play.
Yeah.
He's not really doing a lot. It doesn't feel like. My number 9 is John Collins. Like I said, just doesn't feel like he's doing enough, but he's top 10.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a top 10 at his position. And it's weird because he kind of, I don't want to say he peaked year 2, but his year 2 in the league, he was took a huge jump. He was 18 points a game his second year in the league, and it was wow, he could be pretty good. And then not that he's gotten worse, but he just I thought he was going to progress into all-star type level, and I would assume he's never going to make an all-star game. So still a good player though.
Yeah,
there was talks about the Pistons trading for him last year too.
Yeah, remember when he was the man in the max?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
He got a max. He has a max. The max he was eligible for.
Gotcha.
But
it wasn't that lower than what he wanted though. The max
I can't remember.
I don't think he was eligible for what he wanted.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he
didn't get
wanted
the numbers or something. Yeah, but he got his rookie max extension though, which obviously is still a max. My number 9 is Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris gets a bad rep because of the contract he's on. and a lot of people just don't think he's very good because of it. I don't think he's like crazy good or anything. I just think he doesn't really like fit the Sixers. Like he's not really what the 76ers need with the money he takes up. I think he's still a great player. He has a pretty good bag, like offensively. Like he's a great offensive player all around. Shoots it well. He dribbles pretty well. Just isn't a solid defender and makes a lot of money. So he would be better on a team like the Kings or something. But he's my number 9.
He used to be like one of my favorite guys. That was like just like just below that tier of like star,
like almost an all-star.
Yeah, and I always was a huge fan of Toby, and it just went away. I used to think the Pistons needed Toby. He needs to be in Detroit, and that just wasn't true.
Yeah, I do low-key think if he would have kept blossoming in Detroit, he might have gotten to that all-star level, maybe. Because he had the best years of his career, and then obviously he got better when he went to the Clippers, but he was pretty good for us in Detroit.
My number 8 is Jaren Jackson Jr., the defensive monster, erupted this year. So good on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are just so good. All their players seem like you should rank them higher. But, it's such a team effort in Memphis.
Right.
And everybody's doing it, and then Ja's doing more. He's just doing the most. So Jaren Jackson Jr. could very well climb this list. But I don't know. He's just such a great player at his role. He does everything he's
100%.
asked. And he shoots the ball like a 7th grader. It's horrible. It's the worst jump shot ever.
But it goes in.
That bitch falls. It
exactly.
goes in.
Really weird. Yeah, Jaren is my number 8 as well. He's going to be hurt to start this year, which kind of sucks because the same thing happened 2 seasons ago, and he missed like the entire year pretty much. But he recovered well from that injury. He led the league in total blocks last year. I don't think he was a DPOY finalist, but he made an all-defensive team, which is awesome. Him and Steven Adams was a defensive monster in that front court. And like you said, the Grizzlies they were so good last year. I don't see them getting much worse. And hopefully he can get healthy soon. Because I don't know. I think he's going to miss at least like the first month or 2 of the year. So hopefully he recovers well.
Super interesting player, though. He's just like, he's had such a crazy career. At one point, I thought he might not be very good.
Yeah.
My number 7 is a guy who is the toughest guy on the list to rank. Number 7 is Draymond Green. I don't know what to do with this guy. He does
so hard,
exactly what he's supposed to do on the court, which isn't a ton. Obviously, he does it to perfection, but he's not asked to score the ball, which is the hardest part of the game. He's asked to pass and play defense and orchestrate an offense, which when he does and does it well, it's beautiful. He had an odd finals performance.
I know.
The most odd finals performance from Draymond. But, man, he's tough not to like. He could be anywhere on this list from 5 to 7, actually. That's the only area.
I think so too.
But he is just polarizing.
It's freaking cold in here. Like my toes are like they're cold. I just want to put that out.
Hoodie
there.
And sweats.
I know. Like I really should. I got 2 shirts on, I guess. But my number 7 is Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is like he's a weird one because he's probably going to be considered a center after this year. With the Sacramento Kings starting lineup with Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes now in that front court. Sabonis was pretty good when he went to the Kings last year and with De'Aaron Fox.
Really good.
But they didn't play many games together because 2 of them were injured a good amount. It's weird because they tried playing him with Rashawn Holmes at first, and then they just like quit playing Rashawn Holmes. And he's still on the team, which was kind of weird to me. But yeah, Sabonis was really good with De'Aaron Fox last year, and I do think the Kings actually could be solid this year. Like that's a good duo. Sabonis he's an all-star type of big, really good offensively. Well, it's just gonna be interesting to see him full time without Miles Turner on his side because he's not the greatest rim protector, and Miles Turner could be the best rim protector in the league. So not having that, we'll see if he gets exposed or not. But he's number 7.
Yeah, my number 6 is Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is, like you said, he's very odd. He's one of the best passers at the big man position in the league. He can really stretch the floor to like the long mid range jump shot, and he's really smooth around the rim, and he'll dunk on your bitch ass.
Oh yeah,
he don't give a shit. I really like Sabonis.
One of the more skilled offensive bigs in the league.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the Kings this year. Actually, I've got some wild takes. I'm really excited for the preseason show.
Yeah,
the predictions
that should be coming somewhat soon. I mean, it's like probably at least like in the next month, I would say.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that episode. I've got some hot takes, some hotter takes, and hottest takes.
Speaking of that, new Pistons jerseys dropped today. Thoughts? Honest, 100% thoughts.
6-3.
Oh, okay, like a rating.
Yeah, I
okay.
just did it. That was my first
6'3" is solid.
I like them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a step in the right direction. You know, we talked about it, and I'll let you elaborate your points. But I'm not a huge fan of the all black Pistons jersey.
Are they black or navy? I couldn't tell.
That's a black.
Is it black? Okay,
yeah.
I couldn't tell from the picture. Not.
But I like the stripes. You know, I like the red and blue side stripes, and then the stripe going up and down the shirt. I think we were blessed with a beautiful red jersey last year. Like one of the best jerseys the Pistons have ever worn was last year with that red jersey. And you know, then we have the teal jersey this year. We're doing the red jersey again, right?
They don't know yet. It's because if it would have to be our city jersey, and they haven't dropped city jerseys yet. So at the moment, we don't know.
I'd be pretty fine with it being the city jersey.
Oh yeah, I 100% would be.
But you roll out, you know, those black unis, the teal jerseys, and the red ones. That's 3 fire jerseys. The black then fits in a little.
And obviously the black ones are going to get like not a bad rep, but just not as much hype because the red jerseys were so awesome, and then the teal jerseys were like so requested by the fan base that the next one that comes out, you know, we have super high expectations for. I like them. Like I do like the jerseys. I just wish it said Detroit, not the DET, like the huge letters. If it would have said Detroit in some cool font, I think I would have liked it a lot more. But the DET is the only part of it I don't really like. I do like the stripes. I saw a picture that it's like the Bad Boys warm-ups. Yeah. It's kind of resembling that, which is cool. What is really interesting to me, though, is James Edwards tweeted that they're going to have a court as well with those jerseys.
That'll be cool.
Which I don't know what it's going to look like, but... those aren't the Big Sean jerseys.
No,
like Big Sean designed jerseys for this year. Those aren't those.
Yeah, those will release like next week.
So we're getting another like the teams aren't allowed that many jerseys. You get your home, away, the statement, which is the one that just dropped, which is like your alternate, city, classic. We have our classic. So is the city jersey going to be the Big Sean jersey? Like I don't know.
When did those rules come out?
Well, it's not like a rule. It's just how it is. Like that's
didn't the Miami Heat used to roll out like 8 unis a year with LeBron?
Well, yeah, that was a while. With Nike, I guess. Like now
gotcha.
that the Nike jerseys are like
okay.
this. So I don't know what the plan is. Like if Big Sean is doing the city jersey or if they just are having another one. I don't know.
I'm so pumped for Big Sean's jersey.
I know. Like it's gonna be hype.
What if it flops though? Like what if he sucks at his job?
I thought this one was it, and I was like, damn, he's gonna be mad. Like seeing all the reactions from it.
Thing is, he's a rapper.
Yeah,
you got to remember that.
He don't care. He gets criticism. Yeah. Where are we at? My number 6.
Yeah, your number 6.
My number 6 is Draymond Green. Like you said, really tough guy to rank. And you said had a weird finals, but he was a key piece to a championship team this year. That is a top 10 player at their position to me, just like Andrew Wiggins was. Draymond Green, I think, probably would have been the defensive player of the year if he did not get hurt early in the season. He was kind of running away with it for a while. And Draymond Green obviously gets a lot of talk for his off-the-court stuff, but I think most people can say he is a very good person, and he plays his role very well, like you said. And they won a chip last year, and he was a huge part of it. So he's number 6.
He might be the greatest role player ever.
He could be.
As in, he's the only player to be a role player that took him to be a super, like, star player in the league.
Like Rodman, too.
Yeah.
Like those two are very similar guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I didn't even think about Rodman. That's a good one. My number 5 is Pascal Siakam. What a baller. You know, he's evolved every year, keeps getting better. I thought the Raptors were going to slide last year, and they were just as good as they seem to always be. Just a great basketball unit. That is a team I'm excited to watch this year, is the Toronto Raptors. As much as I Cade.
I don't like them, but I do like them, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
they are our little brothers, though.
How can you dislike Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, and Siakam? They just play ball so well.
And OG and Gary Trent, too. Like, Gary Trent is fun to watch,
he
dude. He's cold.
just a baller.
Yeah, he plays so smooth. I do like the team. Or their guys. I just don't like the team. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We will beat them 4 times. So.
Every single year.
Exactly.
For the rest of our lives.
My number 5, toughest guy to rank ever, Zion Williamson. Missed the whole year last year. Obviously, if he was healthy, he's probably number 4 at least, maybe number 3. But he didn't play last year, and I just feel like I can't put him above Pascal Siakam because of the year Siakam had this past season. Now, Zion is probably going to, like I said, be in that top 4, top 3 this year. But with him missing the whole year, I know it's not his fault or anything, but I felt like it was disrespectful to Siakam for me to put Zion over him. So I got Zion at number 5. Really super excited to watch them play this year. because they made the playoffs last year without Zion. So fully healthy Zion was a beast when we saw him. Excited to see it again.
Yeah, I cannot wait to watch Zion play basketball, especially with, like you said, the core in New Orleans is so cool.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Zion Williamson. I'm just so excited to watch that New Orleans Pelicans
I know.
this year.
They're
so
gonna be
many
hyped.
characters, so many interesting guys.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see Trey Murphy again.
I
Alvarado.
want to see Herb Jones.
Yeah, Herb Jones. They have like 3, like Alvarado and Herb Jones and Zion.
Yeah.
Are 3 of the most interesting NBA
I know.
players right now.
And
then you
Ingram
toss in
has the
BI.
Ingram has the he's 45 years old now out of
Caveman.
nowhere. They have Dyson Daniels who they drafted. He's a
Super
top G League
interesting.
guy. I'm excited to see how he goes. So is he the next Giddey? I don't know.
Could be.
Gonna be interesting.
Could be.
My number 4 is Pascal Siakam. Was All NBA this past season. Didn't make the All-Star game though, which is kind of funny. But was just really good this past year. And like you said, led the Raptors to be much better than most people expected. Him and Fred VanVleet both had like really high years. After last season, I guess it had been 2 seasons ago now, Siakam kind of disappointed. He had an off year. And this past season came back, was really, really good offensively and defensively. Kind of played the center for like most of the second half of the year. And I assume he's going to start at the center this year with their 5, So even though he's not a center, like it would be nice to see an actual center on that team. But yeah, Pascal's number 4.
Yeah, that team, like you said, it's just going to be so much fun. My number 3 is Anthony Davis, who for the past year and a half, well, the past 2 years damn near, just has been the most disappointing player ever.
Yeah.
He is still Anthony Davis, though. He still has showed how great he is. I just wish he wasn't made out of glass.
I know.
I wish we could get a full season of AD again. And I'm really hopeful this is the year where we see AD
I hope so.
ball out and be the Anthony Davis we know he is. I'm really hopeful. And I've got him at 3, probably purely off hope.
Right.
He hasn't shown a lot in the last 2 years, in all honesty. He's still been good. He's still been a really good NBA player, just not
Not
Anthony
what we
Davis.
expect from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
AD, my number 3. The ability is there with Anthony Davis. We know what he can do, is capable of doing. We've seen it. I mean, he has been a top 10 player in the NBA, not counting the last 2 years, for so many years in a row. Like, been a dominant force.
As like a 21-year-old.
Exactly. Like he came into the league, was great, and up until, not saying he's not great anymore, but it's just like this is the one time of AD's career where it's like, what's going on, AD, we just need him to stay healthy, like you said. This Lakers team was horrible last year, but a large portion of that is they have 2 good players on their roster, and one of them couldn't stay healthy, and the other one's 40. So we need both of those 2 to collab, and that includes AD being healthy. Really hope he can be, because he is the piece. I know they have LeBron James, you and me, biggest LeBron James guy. But if we're in all seriousness, Anthony Davis is the most important guy of that team. He needs to be the guy. He needs to be 28 and 10 and play 65 games, be all defense. Like, he needs that. He can't shoot 20% from 3 like he did last year. I know he was hurt, but he still couldn't make a 3. So we need him to go to the hoop more, stay healthy, and play the center if you have to. But if you're going to stay healthy at the 4, I guess play the 4. I don't really know, because that's been a weird thing for a long time. But yeah, he's my number 3. I still think I have high hopes for AD this year, like you said.
It doesn't help with the 5 they surround AD with.
Exactly.
We're going to give you Dwight Howard. We're going to give you JaVale. I mean, I guess
Which they were solid.
They won a ring with Dwight, I guess. But
like last year, though, like it was. I don't know. Who was last year? They didn't have Dwight. Who was their center last year? They had Drummond 2 years ago. But who was last year's center on the Lakers, bro? Oh, they had Montrez. No, Montrez wasn't on their team last year. Damn, dude. Who the hell was their center? This is like stumping me hardcore. They have Thomas Bryant this year. Wow.
Who the hell
this
started
is like
at center?
This is like embarrassing. Like, I should know this.
Everybody should know this.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers.
Who was the center, bro?
You got to look it up.
I do have to look it up. You're right.
Did you say your number 3?
Oh, yeah. I said it was AD.
Oh, dude, I don't even want to move on until we've got this
I know,
figured out.
dude. I just like...
It's just so wrong.
Because, okay, so their starting lineup would have been like Westbrook. What would I even do to look this up? Like 2021 Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
2022 Lakers. Yeah, who the hell? Just look at a picture of their roster. I can only think of Austin Reeves, Russ.
Yeah. Okay, this
Talon
is
Horton Tucker. Who else is on that damn roster? AD.
It says Dwight was on the team, but he just wasn't. That's just a lie. Or maybe he got traded there. Because he played for Philly.
He did go back to LA.
He got back. You're right. He did go back to yeah. So he started off the year with Philly. I'll go to his reference.
He's made 3 stops in LA.
I know. Yeah, started off the year with Philly and then got traded to LA and played 60 games or played 27 games for.
Oh, see, but he didn't start the whole year.
This is just confusing me now. Okay, no, he played the whole year for the Lakers last year. He didn't get traded. He played for Philly 2 years ago, Lakers last year.
Gotcha.
So it was Dwight Howard.
Okay.
And then they had DeAndre Jordan last year. That's who it was. And
DJ.
he got traded halfway through the year too.
Yeah, and he was absolutely
he was
garbage.
really bad.
He was actually the worst player ever.
But they do have AD as a center on here from last year. Yeah, this team sucked.
Yeah, but
Sekou was on this team.
To me, Anthony Davis needs to play more like Giannis.
Yeah.
But Giannis doesn't play the 5. AD's right. Giannis plays the 4. But the 5 is Brook Lopez, who sits in the 3-point line.
Yeah.
So
and protects the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is so rare.
Perfect guy. A perfect guy for Giannis to play with, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if Miles Turner gets to the Lakers, AD could be dangerous.
Yeah,
that's been the talk. Him and Miles Turner and Buddy Hield for Westbrook and those 2 first-round picks they have.
It's funny.
That'd be a good trade for the Lakers.
It's a combination of 2 previous trades we've been hearing for years. It used to just be Miles Turner and then just be Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Now they're on the same team.
Now they have both, yeah.
So they can just go
and
together.
The Lakers are still connected. Number 2.
My number 2 is Kevin Durant. Super interesting. To me, he's 1 and 2 on this list. To me, I'm gonna say this before we do our rankings, are the 1 and 2 in basketball.
Really?
KD number 2. He does it all. He's just so
Yeah.
freaking good. And he was the only good player, it felt like, on the Nets in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It felt like he was alone out there.
Yeah, it did.
And he balled out with his back to the wall. Balled out. Obviously not the outcome he wanted.
Right.
Still balled out.
Kevin Durant's my number 2. Last year I had Kevin Durant number 1 on this list, and I actually had him as a number 1 best player in the league. I don't really know when I'm going to rank him this year. I don't think he took a hit or anything because he was really good in the regular season. He got hurt again. But, yeah, KD, all the drama that happened with him this offseason, I'm happy he's still on the Nets. He is still one of the, if not the best offensive player in the NBA. And like you said, was good in the playoffs, just they did not play, their whole team did not play well, so it didn't look good for him. But the last 2 years, he's been a durable guy in the playoffs, which is really interesting for KD because he gets hurt in the playoffs, or in the regular season, every year, and then in the playoffs, he's playing 48 minutes. It's just and not getting hurt. Yeah, it's really weird.
He probably gets dumb bored of being dumb efficient and
probably.
Games.
But if he's never done a calf raise, how does he not get hurt in these playoff games? Oh yeah, KD's my number 2 though.
My number 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the best player in the world by far. It's just, he's ridiculous. There's not a thing. You've heard everything about Giannis. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say.
Giannis is number 1, like you said, the best player in the NBA, without a doubt. That's something that I'm not afraid to share before we do our best players list because I think it's obvious. Giannis, I'm not saying I should have had him number 1 last year, but he's number 1. Giannis is unstoppable. And just like you said, there's nothing else to talk about with him. We know what we're getting. It's Giannis. That's it. Thank you guys for listening. Like we said, go check us out on everything. Let us know what you think about the weekly pick sound, and go watch some football this weekend.
Yeah, go watch some football. Exactly. Enjoy it.
Bye.
Peace.